Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ohio State Primetime Live here at Ohio State at the Voice of College Football. I'm your host, as always, on a Monday at 7 p.m., Garrison Gaddy. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Of course, we have a lot of great content here at the Voice of College Football, including the awesome website we have, which you can check out at bocfb.com, where we have all of our awesome writers there that keep you up to date with college football and the weekly schedule that we have here at the channel. And if you have any family, friends, or foes that want to check out anything else, whether it be Oklahoma, the team up north, North Carolina, Tennessee, we have it all here for you. Well, everybody, we have a long we're gonna have a long night. It's gonna be a long night. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot happening, whether it be with Ohio State, outside of Ohio State, Heisman talk, UCLA, Purdue, the Big Ten making some huge moves, and then there's two other programs. There's two other programs or institutions that are not following suit with the other 16. We'll talk about that later. A lot of stuff to talk about. But let's get started here, everybody. First thing I want to talk about here tonight is recruiting. Right now, Ohio State is on a heater. It's boom after boom after boom. And right now, what Ohio State is doing, they have recently flipped 3 recruits. The first one I want to talk about is the biggest one, personally to me, and that's Emmanuel Ruffin. He's someone that I have continuously talked about, or I did continuously talk about over the off season. Right out of Bester City, Alabama, or Bester City High School, Bester, Alabama, but really good player. 6'4", 295 pounds. He was recently committed to Colorado, which let's just keep it a buck here. I think all of us would agree here. Most people would agree that Ohio State most definitely is the better choice of the two between Ohio State and Colorado. But yeah, he's again 6'4", 295, number 26 defensive lineman in the nation, 197th overall. 3-year varsity, actually now 4-year varsity, 3-year varsity play. He's been starting since his sophomore season in high school. Has been doing very well. He started actually his sophomore season. You can imagine why. I'm gonna tell you why right now. He is an elite athlete for his size. If I had to give you like a comp, I would honestly tell you he reminds me of Edric Houston. Of course, Edric Houston is a little bit smaller in weight compared to Ruffin. But what I mean by that, he's really rangy, long arms, long legs, long torso, really quick, uses his length well. Again, like when you have a guy like him going against guys that are guards, not so much tackles, but when you go against guards, right, which he's going to, he plays on a 5 tech, usually 3-4 defense in high school. Usually plays on the outside, goes to the inside sometimes, but you would imagine that Ohio State were going to have him more, or Larry Johnson would have him more at the defensive tackle spot. And when you look at guards, when you have really long arms, man, it's a disadvantage for them, and it's an advantage for you, for the player. He explodes off the line of scrimmage very well. I mean, if you guys have the time, I mean, go ahead and look up his highlights. You're going to see it from the get-go. As soon as the ball is snapped, he's either pushing the offensive lineman a yard or two back, or he's going right past them. It's quite honestly one of the more impressive things that I've seen. I think that he could definitely be higher ranked in the composite based on where you want to look at, whether it be Rivals on 3. I don't think anybody really goes to ESPN anymore, or 247. But maybe people go to 247, but you get what I'm saying. But yeah, explodes off that of the line of scrimmage. Complete mismatch. And I think that, over the off season, a lot of people, there's a lot of talk about Larry Johnson. I think now, as we've gotten towards the end of the year, and as we're getting closer to signing day at the end of the season, or at the end of the year, actually, Larry Johnson is not a problem. Larry Johnson can still recruit. I mean, you go down to Alabama. Of course, again, he was committed to Colorado, but you're able to go down to Alabama and get these kids from the South. Again, guys like Caden McDonald, guys like Edric Houston. That's where these kids are from. And it just shows the worth that, like, how much worth he has to the Ohio State program. I mean, again, man, Larry Johnson, man, we love you. I don't think there's any other way to say it. Again, Emmanuel Ruffin, I think he's gonna be a really good player for Ohio State one day. I think that when hit like I don't think there's gonna be much to have to. Of course, everybody has to learn how to play the position, but I don't think there's gonna be much for him to learn. I think he's gonna get really big. I think he can probably go somewhere around. I mean, he's 6'4", 295 right now in high school. I could see him somewhere around 310, 305. I think that'd be a good way for him to make sure that he keeps his speed and athletic ability on that defensive line. But yeah, man. Again, Emmanuel Ruffin, glad to have you, kid. Glad to have you be part of the Ohio State program. Can't wait to see what you do for us. Can't wait. I'm gonna put all my stock behind this kid because I believe he's going to be a great player for Ohio State. Next, who we're going to talk about. This happened today, and it's funny, everybody. Originally, in my show notes, I put this was a topic that it was like, oh, this could happen. This could be a commit. And then right on the spot, a couple hours ago, Legend Bay out of Forney, Texas, commits to Ohio State. Of course, he plays quarterback right now, but I would assume he's probably going to be a wide receiver more than as a slot guy. Could play on the outside, and we'll get to why he possibly could. Maybe running back, depending on if he can put on some size. Coach Lachlan is actually his primary recruiter. But again, Legend Bay, Forney, Texas, 5'10", 175 pounds, number 24 athlete in the class of 2026. Recently decommitted from our I don't want to cuss right now. Decommitted from our how about we say one of our little brothers over down there in Tennessee, who we pleasantly smacked the crap out of last year when they came to Neyland North. But yeah, decommits from Tennessee, dynamic player, very fast, very quick. I'm not sure if anyone here how much people know about track, but the kid he ran a 10.7, they ran a 10.2 wind aided. Now, which means like 10.7, I think it was a sophomore year, 10.2 is junior year. If you don't know how fast that is, people, let me explain to you. So, Ted Ginn Jr. ran a 10.2, 10.3 100-meter dash. That's what we're talking about here. That is the type of speed that we're talking about right here. That we're getting out of him. And again, I think that this right here is probably when you look at the Ohio State class, and we're gonna go through it. He's not gonna be in the top 5 and the top 10 of Ohio State recruits, but he's possibly a top 5 most dynamic recruit right now, or commit right now for Ohio State. Again, Coach Lachlan doing great things. Can't wait to see what this kid can do for us. And again, Legend Babe, for you also, young man. Glad to have you be part of this program. And then lastly, but not least important, Mason Wilhelm. For all the young bucks in here, if you don't know who Mason Wilhelm is, let me tell you. He is the son of Matt Wilhelm, who was on the 2002 national championship team for Ohio State. Legacy kid. We flipped him from North Carolina. And I love this because he's an offensive lineman, by the way. I love this because I stand by this. You guys have heard me say this plenty of times. It's awesome if Ohio State goes and gets a 5-star offensive lineman, even a 4-star, a high 4-star offensive lineman, blue chip guy. Okay. I will happily and gladly take 3-star offensive linemen from the state of Ohio. I think that when you do, I'm going to say it again. I think that when you do that, you bring something, those kids bring something extra because they truly love the program, and offensive line is something that you really have to coach. And we have great coaches. Tyler Bowen is a great coach. He, at least position coach at offensive line, run game coordinator. He's great at run game coordinating also. And his history shows that as previous stops at Virginia Tech and Penn State. But even more so, you're getting a legacy kid who understands Ohio State, who understands what the program is, and will give his all to the program that his dad also played for and won a national championship for. So again, Legend Bay, Emmanuel Ruffin, Mason Wilhelm, to all of you young men, welcome to Ohio State, and we will see you soon. Again, everybody, glad to have you in here at Ohio State, the Voice of College Football. Give a few shout outs here. See my guy Richie Dubs here, everybody. Richie's in the chat. Aaron, what's up, Buckeye fan, brother? What's up to you too? No, Jam. I like wearing my hat backwards. I don't know what to tell you. I just don't. And plus, like the way my head is shaped, man, I just, unless I have like a really bent brim or a wide one, this one isn't. I like the way it fits backwards. It's really comfortable. I can't help it. But the Honorable Jam, one of the best people here on this platform, one of my favorite people on X also. You guys should go follow her on there. So Aaron says, I wish Deuce Geralds was still on the table as well. Oh my God. Aaron, you ain't lying, man. Deuce Geralds. He's outside Kerry Wilder, of course, and Jameer Perez, and of course, Emmanuel Ruffin. This was the other guy that I think most Ohio State fans, if not every Ohio State fan, definitely wanted. A lot of talent right there, man. A lot of talent. But again, I think that when you look at the Ohio State class, and a matter of fact, I'm gonna bring it up right here, because I think as you look down this 2026 class, I think we'll all start to realize that this is going to be a very good class. And of course, Ohio State moving from 9th in the 2026 composite to 7th now. That's currently 3rd in the Big Ten, behind USC, who has the number 1 class in the country. And then Oregon is number 5 in the country. And then Ohio State 7, the team up north, they're 10th. And mind you, I like Ohio State and Oregon, they're both around the 290, at the 290, 293 range. You got the Wolverines down at 273. Their class is not a bad class, but their class right now, I don't think it's even touching what Ohio State has. But yeah, let's take a look here, because again, I think once you see this, you'll realize just how good this class is. Of course, you got Chris Henry, Blaine Bradford, Caden Dixon Wyatt, the teammate of Chris Henry over at Mater Dei, Sam Greer, Ohio kid, Sincere Johnson, Ohio kid, one of the best linebacker edge rushers in the country, Maxwell Riley, another top 10 offensive lineman, Ohio kid, Simeon Caldwell. Then you get Emmanuel Ruffin, Jordan Thomas, Kerry Wilder, Jay Timmons, Jaden Ricketts, Ohio kid. Again, Damari Simeon, underrated player right there, number 6 in the state in New Jersey. If you don't know about New Jersey players, man, they're really talented. They play great football there. And then, like I said, if you look at the top 10, you won't see him. But there's Legend Bay. Again, I think he's one of the top 5 most dynamic players in this class. Cameron Brickle, going to be a work in progress, but out of IMG Academy. But again, everybody, once you look down this list, man, again, Brock Boyd. Brock Boyd, man, I don't care what anyone says about this kid. He's another he runs a 10-7 100-meter dash. I mean, there's a lot of talent in this class, a lot of athletic, fast kids in this class. And I think that I don't think Ohio State's done. Hayes Fawcett, he tweeted not too long ago, maybe a couple hours ago, he said Ohio State's not done. He said that he posted Ohio State wasn't done. He said we'll come back to this tweet next week. He said 26 and 27 class. And I think Ohio State has the number 1 27 class right now. Only about 5 commits, I believe, right now. But look, Ohio State's doing a great job in the recruiting field. And there's nothing else you can ask for us right now. I think that everybody was kind of, and mind you, not to just boast about this, but over the offseason, I told you guys, when we were all talking about Ohio State and when it came to the NIL thing, I said, I guarantee you at the end of the season or towards the end of the year, Ohio State is going to flip a lot of these kids, whereas usually it happens to Ohio State a lot. I think Ohio State's going to flip the head on people. I think that when it comes to the NIL game, Ohio State has been ahead of the curve. I really believe that. And so I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this class. I really am. Let's see. Aaron Hill says we should have 5 5-stars. Crazy that we're 7th right now. Shake my damn head. Yep. But man, look, man, if this was and honestly, getting five stars isn't that easy. That don't happen a lot. And again, with NIL now, man, you're gonna see that this talent is spread out. Look at Texas Tech. They spent what 70 million on their defensive line this on the portal. I think like it's just look, man. It is what it is now. This is football, but the good part about it is we are still Ohio State, and we're still going to get some of the best talent in the country on a year-to-year basis. A lot of these other programs, like this is USC's first time being number one in a very long time. It's about sustainability, and so same thing for Texas Tech. Same thing for Texas. I mean, Texas A&M, they consistently gotten talent, but they're just now starting to be good on the field. So, yeah, man, I don't know. I'm not upset about this class at all, man. I think it's very damn good, and I can't wait to see what these kids do in the future. So yeah, and by the way, everybody, if you haven't seen already, go ahead and answer the question I asked. Do you think an Ohio State Buckeye will win the Heisman? Of course, being Julian Sand and Jeremiah Smith. Shout out to Daniel Henry. So Ohio State will win the Heisman, but we'll get that. I'm sorry, yeah, we'll get that back to back. I agree. Daniel, I think that when you look at the Heisman race, and I think the same thing that happened in 2019. Not saying that one of these guys, whether would have beaten Joe Burrow for it, but when you look back at Justin Fields and Chase Young, they're going to split votes. They're going to. That being Julian Sand and Jeremiah Smith. And so it's going to be really hard. I mean, even in that year in 2019, J.K. Dobbins finished top 7 in the Heisman voting. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard. I mean, for Julian Sand or Jeremiah Smith to win the Heisman in the game and with the game against the team up north, and then with winning that game and also going into the Big Ten championship to basically have a top 2, top 3 matchup against the Indiana Hoosiers, who we're going to talk about here later with Chris Drew, everybody. But those are the games they're going to have to play big. And if they play big in those games, and you don't have to have ridiculous stats, but if you have good stats, you stay consistent. Say if Julian Sand threw for 290, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, 80%, 75%, who knows? I think that winning that game and possibly knocking the Wolverines out of playoff contention would help you there. And then, of course, if you go against Mendoza and the Hoosiers in the Big Ten championship in Indianapolis, basically in their own backyard, and you win that game too, I think that would solidify it for Julius Sand. I really do believe that. Or Jeremiah Smith. I mean, it has to be one of them, man. And if they both do it, I'm probably right there with Daniel. But that does not mean I am not going to push that Buckeye propaganda. I will, especially for Julian right now, because what he's doing right now, he's on a historic run. Julian Sand's on a historic run right now, and I think a lot of people forget it. I think that's getting overshadowed right now by a lot of things, by outside things of Columbus going on in the nation. So next, everybody, I want to get to let's talk about this Penn State game. Of course, I wasn't here with Mike, our guy Cleveland Mike, on Saturday after the game. But I do want to talk about this game because I think that there were some things to take away from it. First off, let me say this. That game was doggone boring. It was doggone boring, and I'm okay with that. I don't want a game against Purdue to be exciting. That's how you end up like Indiana against Penn State. I don't want that. I want consistency throughout the season, and that's what the Ohio State Buckeyes have given us. So let's get down to it. Ohio State wins this game 34-10. Of course, Purdue gets a touchdown with like 4 minutes left. Garbage time touchdown, doesn't really matter. Doesn't help the Ohio State defensive stats because of the points per game, but I don't think those guys really care about. Well, no, they do care about that. I know they care about that. But let's talk about this. A few things I want to point out here. We're going to keep this short. 6 penalties for 63 yards. We got to clean that up. I think that against real teams, once you get over that threshold of 5 penalties, it can start to get iffy. It might not. It can just be. I just don't like penalties. I don't like over 5 penalties. I think that's just undisciplined football, And that's not what Ohio State is about. That's not Buckeye football. 40 minutes and 53 seconds of time of possession. That's insane. And I mean, at the on offense, I mean, right out of halftime, Ohio State takes up 9, was it like 7 or it was almost 9 minutes of time possession that quarter, I believe. It was crazy. And of course, that drive ended with Julian throwing one of the dumbest passes I've ever seen. And right when I saw it, I tweeted out, I said, "Look, I wasn't really upset about the play, about the interception. It is what it is. I don't think I've never seen Julian throw a pass like that. I won't say that. I've never seen him make a decision like that. One of one of the things that I love praising Julian about and watching his game is that he doesn't put the team in harm's way. Now, when he threw that pick, he didn't put the team in harm's way, but in a Big Ten championship game, when we go to Ann Arbor, when you get to the playoffs, plays like that can screw you. I'm very confident that Ryan Day and Brian Hartline talked to him after the fact. I'm pretty sure he knew what he did was stupid. I mean, because when you watch that play from like the vantage angle of going at the deep, going towards the end zone, you can't even describe why he made that decision. But it is what it is. I'm not really mad about that. Defense did their thing. I don't have much to say about that. I think Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles were monsters out there. Caden McDonald was the best player on the defense. Caleb Downs made plays, forced that incompletion, not incompletion, but forced the ball to fly up in the air. Jermaine Matthews gets another pick for this season. So good for him. He's always run the ball, man. Jermaine Matthews just making plays, and that's something else I think we need to be pushing right now for Jermaine Matthews being All-American. Yeah, look, man, the defense did their thing. I don't have much to say about them. They continue to be the best unit in college football, bar none. Now the offense. This is where I want to spend some time here. 170 rushing yards this week, and that's coming off of having 164 last week. The run game is coming together, everybody, and I love to see this. I tweeted this earlier today, the run game was the last thing. It's like an infinity stone for this team because the defense, number one in the country. Julian Sand, Carnell Tate, one of the best wide receiver units in the nation. Jeremiah Smith. You have one of the best tight end rooms in the country. The O-line's playing very good. This game against Purdue looked a little bad. I didn't like it. Couple sacks that we gave up some pressures, but that's the anomaly. That's the exception and not the rule. So I'm willing to give them a curmudgeon for that. Then you get to the running backs. I guess that's in conjunction with the offensive line, specifically the right side of the offensive line. Of course, I'm not going to keep talking about the kicker. He's still a Buckeye, and I want the best for him. But there's a specific player on the offense that puts the team in harm's way. There was a play where James Peoples leaks out for a screen and Julian Sand gets it to him. And you see all the offensive linemen are about to go downfield and block for him. You don't see any Purdue Boilermaker in the screen. And then you see one fly up past one of our offensive linemen and knock James Peoples' head off. That can't happen. That's unacceptable. That's bullshit. And there's no, and I'm saying it again, man. There's no way that when you see that Josh Padilla doesn't play that bad. He's got things to work on. He's a young guy. First time starting this season, he had a chance to. But by no means should that be happening on a play. And when that happened, you can look at the sideline and you can see Ryan Day and Tyler Bowen lose their shit. And you're right, Aaron. Padilla was hurt. Thank you. No, Aaron. No, I am not going to calm down because well, Jam, the reason I'm not saying his name, Jam, is because I don't want to continue to tear down a kid on this team. I don't want to do that. And the more I talk about 77, I don't know what else to say about him. I don't know what to say about him. You can't be this. You can't. It's 2 years and you haven't progressed. I don't know what to say about that. That's that you have to. There's a standard and you have to meet that standard. If you're not meeting it, man, I want to see who's next up. That's why I've said, well, Padilla's hurt. I don't like. Listen, I'm a West Michigan guy. Put Gabe Van Sickle in the game. I don't care. I'm tired of seeing 77 out there on the field. That's just the truth of the matter. But again, let's talk about the good here. In Big Ten play before the last 2 weeks, Ohio, in the first 4 games, that being, Ohio State was averaging 121.5 rush yards per game. And now 164 last week, 170 this past Saturday. You can see a slow progression right now. It's not that we're going against the best defensive run defenses right now, but you see the progression. You see what we're doing. Bo Jackson, 14 carries, 75. West, 9 for 60. Peoples, 8 for 26. Downson, 2 touchdowns. Lincoln Keenholz had a touchdown. It was good to see him get in the field or go in the field. And mind you, last season, because I checked this out because someone asked me this. In the month of November last year, Ohio State was averaging around 170 rush yards a game. Between our 2 main running backs, Trey Henderson and Juckins, about 117. So it's not to sit here and say our running backs are as good as them. Of course, you're talking about 5 people getting to what maybe 2 to 3 guys had last season. But you see the progression. And again, it's like an infinity stone, man. If this run game can continue to be consistent, that's going to do wonders for this team, especially like in November 29th, Big Ten championship, and into the playoffs. Jeremiah Smith, 10 for 137, touchdown. They spammed him all game. That's what you want to see when Cardinal Tate's down in there. Max Clare, 559. He continues to play very good in Big Ten play. Rogers, Ennis, Graham combined for 76 yards. I thought they all played well. It's good to see Bryson Rogers get in there, make some plays. Kid's got talent, so I love seeing it. Graham, everyone here knows how much of a fan I am of him. Drops that first pass. It looked like he heard footsteps. That's what it looked like. But then he comes back, gets another really good catch. So that was good to see out of him. I think that early in the day, everyone's wondering, where's Carnell Tate? Where's Carnell Tate? Yeah, I wanted Carnell to play. I always didn't want Carnell to play. But I thought that was a chance for the wide receivers at Ohio State to get some run. Ryan Day talked about this two or so weeks ago about how we need these guys behind Tate, behind Ennis, and behind Smith to get some run so they can be ready when their name is called. So that's that, man. Again, it's Purdue. There's not much to say about the game. Again, it was very boring. It wasn't fun to watch, but then again, that's okay. It is what it is, guys. Yeah, but before we continue, everybody, quick message here from the voice of college football.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the voice of college football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the voice of college football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select a betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
All right, everybody, and just a reminder, participants must be 21 or older. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Again, that's 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, everyone, we're going to get to the next segment of our show, and this is something that's near and dear to my heart. And it's cool because I watched my guy Chris Drew's video. It was a couple weeks ago, and I talked to him about it after. And we had a good conversation about it, and then this past weekend happens, and I think it all came to a head. So, with that being said, everyone, please welcome to the stage our guy, the person who likes to pick on me, Chris Drew. Chris, how you doing, brother?
That was my past life, Your Honor. I'm good, man. Sorry I'm late, dude. I had a pod run long. Always working, but it's good, man. I'm happy to be here. We haven't talked ball enough this year, at least on a microphone together. So I'm excited to chop it up, dude. What you got for me?
So, if you remember when we talked a couple weeks ago, when we were talking about the video you had dropped about the Ohio State, you had mentioned Ohio State fatigue at that time. You just said it.
Oh.
And when I heard that, I said, oh, man.
All right. All right, Garrison. What do you want, dog? Do you want me to do the thing where I like use the crystal ball and predict the future with national takes? Or do you want me to do the thing where I revisit the whole Ohio State fatigue and how I saw it coming from a mile away?
Let's start with that. How you saw it coming from a mile away.
Okay, so here's what happens, dude. And it's funny because for years and years and years, the Big Ten got a lot of fair, justified hate, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm going to call the Ohio State Natty the James Harden MVP, right? When James Harden was coming up, there was a lot of talk about, his style of play is not conducive. He doesn't like the rest of the other superstars, blah, 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 blah. Even though the numbers he was putting up all suggested that he should have multiple MVPs. And then he won the MVP, and then everyone couldn't wait to forget about him, act like he didn't win it. And it happens when, for whatever reason, people don't like what a championship or what an MVP represents to them. For about 15 years, Ohio State's been the really, really fun team for national media to beat up on, and it's been the only Big Ten team, the only one that has been a real threat to the SEC, but still they were getting beat on whenever push came to shove. So when Ohio State won the Natty, you can no longer talk about the Big Ten. It's similar with Michigan. And the fatigue began because when you are a sport that is driven by one quadrant of the nation for X amount of time, the only thing you want is for it to be about your schools down south. And so we see stuff like college football nerds, criticizing the Julian saying deep ball. Meanwhile, a guy like Ty Simpson, I believe, is 2 for 14 on 30-yard passes downfield. You see things like Mendoza, starting a fire, then putting it out, and all of a sudden that's his highest moment. It's no, it's not. You see things like people crowning Dan Lanning the next superstar young hot coach, even though there's a program at Ohio State that's stepping the right way. And the fatigue, the Ohio State fatigue in particular, represents the potential next dynasty. When Michigan won a title, there was no worry that they could be a dynasty. When Oregon had a really good year last year, there was no worry that they could be a dynasty. The fatigue is more fear, because there's a general amount of fear that this Ohio State train, you can't run. You can't run from. And if you do, you will get caught. And they look like the only team that NIL and portal has not cut the legs up from under, because they're a team that wasn't cheating the entire time. So the fatigue is more fear. And also, a lot of the sports media people are coming from the South when it comes to college football. So the Buckeye fatigue thing was easy to see from a mile away. And it's honestly, it's gonna be better when they win another title, because you can avoid it only for so long.
So it's funny that I watched your video with Ron, and actually, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and post it in here, because if you haven't seen it, everybody, it's a great video to watch. It's an awesome video to watch. I enjoyed watching it last night. If you are not subscribed to Dead Air Sports, you need to do that right now. 171 Rundown, Minutes of Sports, all that, everybody. Great content from Chris, and he does great work. He's always busy. That's why he was late.
All right, Andrew, my bad, dude. I'm literally texting him I I just did a pod with Chris, and that's baseball Fireside Yankee. So I was doing a baseball thing, and I'm switching back gears.
Yeah, you're a Yankee fan.
Real quick, on my dead air thing, and you are the first person I think on a microphone that I've talked to about this. And I'm going to hijack your episode real briefly.
No, please do it.
I think that I am a different kind of sports broadcaster. I think I'm a different kind of like personality, and I'm a weirdo. And like I do the thing where I have a different creative thought process with everything. And I don't want to do a traditional sports show like at all. Well, I do like the Menace of Sports one, but like also like in my own world, what would a show look like? And so I do more of like covering the underbelly of college athletics and more of like an informational sense. And I also like try to like sort through narratives rather than just like pointing out how stupid they are, like kind of sort through where they come from. So Dead Air is more about the underbelly of the sports world, the underbelly of college football. And that's why I make weird content over there. So it's not for everybody, but it's something like a nice little like subdivision of the sport. And I think I do stuff that not a lot of people, or stylistically that not a lot of people even embark on personally.
Because they can't do it. I'll say it for you.
No, I think I don't even think I'm that talented. I just think I'm weird. So
then let me speak for you. Then you are. Let me speak for you.
That's fine. That's fine. Just play. You have a clip from it. Just play it so we can talk about it.
You said what?
Are you going to play a clip, or am I just chatting? I don't want to steal the show.
Oh no, you're fine. No, we're just talking.
Okay, good. Yeah. So like, I just do a lot of like underbelly of the sport kind of thing, and I also like. I try to find like other podcasts that I like enjoy listening to. So, the Mendoza thing I think is just so funny because he's not the Heisman, and the Buckeye fatigue is like bleeding over into like how people talk about the Heisman. Garrison, the Heisman has literally never, ever, ever been about most valuable to your team. The Heisman.
I read that, dude. That was.
It's never been about that. The Heisman has always been about the most outstanding player, no matter what. And all of a sudden, now that Ohio State has the most outstanding player and the second most outstanding player, we're trying to use that as a disqualifier because Mendoza's doing things at Indiana. So I don't know, man. Like it's funny to me, but at the end of the day, like all these media narratives, like no one can run. My journey right now, Garrison, is I think the most important thing is Jeremiah Smith winning the Heisman, Ohio State winning the Big Ten, and then Ohio State winning the Natty. That's the triple crown that I want. And Jeremiah Smith is my Heisman winner right now.
So mine is Caucasian Troy Smith.
Okay, that's fine. I'll let you get away with this time. This time
I can do it now. Not the common cold.
Now. All right. Yeah, wait. Can I ask a thinker question? I'm going to cut you off. I'm drinking an energy drink. I don't drink caffeine. I'm going to cut you off. Would you be upset if Ohio State retired 10 after saying won the Heisman?
Okay. I hate you right now because I had an idea about this about 2 days ago. And yes.
You would be upset.
No. I'm sorry. No, I think they should.
Okay.
If Julian Sand wins the Heisman, I never want that jersey number being worn again. Never.
Who do you want to retire it? It goes up in the rafters. Whose name is on it?
If Julian wins a national championship.
All right. Well, look.
Wait, and let me say this. Well, I don't know.
Dude, here's where I go.
You're putting me in a bad spot, bro.
No. I'll put myself in a bad spot. No, I'll do it. Troy Smith is the only Heisman Trophy winner at Ohio State to not have his jersey retired. Is it because he's black? That's where I go with it. That's where I'm like, I don't know. If you do retire it, I think
he's black.
Huh?
Wait, you said he's the only Heisman winner?
There's only one jersey number that won a Heisman that is not retired, and it's Troy's.
You said because he's black?
No, that's what like people like float around out there, like in Cleveland at least.
Wouldn't Eddie George get pale?
Yeah, no. I'm
messing with you. Yeah.
It's just like one of the things that gets floated around. It's like, oh, are they gonna wait for like the white quarterback to win and retire it? So
no, but like honestly, bro, like when I think about it, like I wouldn't be mad if they had both 2 10s in the rafters. I would want it done after Julian is done with college. I don't want it right away. Not while he's still here. But like, I mean, I I don't think Troy Smith is the best quarterback in Ohio State history, but I believe him to be the greatest as of now because
Isn't he the most important? Can we do this? Isn't he
he's the most. No,
important?
no. Listen, man, I got time. This is a long show tonight. I got a lot of things to go on to, so we can do this.
Yeah,
Troy Smith is the most important quarterback in Ohio State history.
I think so.
And he might be the most important offensive player in Ohio State history. After Troy Smith, that run of quarterbacks and honestly that we're still on, it's been insane.
I think that the two like big bang moments in college athletics, and I feel comfortable saying this, and I've never felt comfortable going into this on a microphone. The two big bang moments in like the world of college football was Drew Brees not getting his shoulder cleared by the Dolphins. That was the first big bang in college
with
athletics.
Nick Saban.
Yep. And then the other one is Troy Smith winning the job at Ohio State. Troy Smith made it cool to be the quarterback at Ohio State, and that led to a run that I believe is going to ultimately be the separator for the Ohio State dynasty. Because being the quarterback position at Ohio State being cool was never the case before Troy Smith.
You're right.
And when you have a quarterback that makes it cool to be the quarterback there, and you can then parlay that into Terrell Pryor and then Braxton Miller, it makes your program in a window where other schools went through a lot of turmoil. It makes you like the reason your birthright is 10 wins from 2006 on is because of Troy Smith.
Yes.
So like for me, it just became cool more recently to be the quarterback at Alabama. Like Alabama was winning titles without the quarterback position being cool. And I think when they lose titles, it's because the quarterback play isn't very good and they're just okay with it because it's not cool to be the quarterback at Alabama anymore.
Well, I think that on top of that, I'll tell you what, bro, because I'm very adamant about this. I've said it plenty. I've said it over the last 5-10 years. And this is why I hold so much disdain for Texas. I remember in 2005 or 2006 being a kid when Ohio State played Texas. And 05. And during the broadcast, before the game started, they said, whoever wins this game is probably going to the national championship. And that was the game that Troy Smith did not play that whole game. And Ohio State got their asses kicked in the fourth quarter. But I stand on this. If Troy Smith played that whole game, I think we win.
Yeah.
And instead of beating on Notre Dame, which was fun to do, honestly, because I thought that was one of the best Notre Dame teams of all time. You get a chance at USC at the national championship. But I'm with you. With Troy, I mean, right after that, it was what's his name, who took us to a national championship actually.
Todd Beckman.
Then you get the TP. It's man. And honestly, I mean,
can I add something real quick?
There's
a comment in here. Daniel Henry. I love Troy Smith, but Dwayne Haskins deserves some credit for putting Ohio State on the map for quarterbacks. When he went on the visit to Ohio State as a kid, who did he say his favorite player was?
Troy Smith.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that Troy was the best quarterback. I think he made it cool to be the quarterback. I think Dwayne Haskins is the prime example. Dwayne Haskins, as a kid from the DMV, his favorite player was Troy Smith. And it's that's why he made it cool. Because without Troy, you don't get Dwayne.
If you ask I feel like if you ask most Buckeye fans who their favorite quarterbacks are, they're probably going to say Troy Smith or they're going to say Braxton Miller.
Yeah, Troy, Braxton, and Justin are the most loved quarterbacks in OSU history, at least my lifetime OSU history. And then I think Dwayne is fourth on there too. I think a lot of Ohio State fans do not love CJ Stroud the way that they should or could because of the losses to Michigan, and that's kind of where the rivalry sits. Same with Will Howard. Will Howard's not going to be on anybody's, Mount Rushmore for Ohio State that is a real Ohio State historian because of the loss to Michigan. And then Kyle McCord, obviously, we don't have to revisit that. But I think the guys that universally love, Dwayne, Justin, Braxton, Troy.
Can I get this out of you real quick? Because you said this to me in private, but I want to hear this right now on the airwaves. What did you say to me over the phone about Kyle McCord and Devin Brown?
Dude, oh shoot, I don't know. Remind me.
That I was right.
Oh, did I say you were? No, I did not. I did not say that on the phone.
You said I was. Hey,
No, because look, if someone held a gun in my head and said, "Does Ohio State beat Michigan with Devin Brown in 2023?" I'm saying absolutely. Don't make me talk about Devin today, bro. Chill. I'm about to start putting in my contract the no Devin Brown talk.
Oh, I'm just saying there's a true freshman starting at Cal.
Yeah, a true freshman who's better than Kyle McCord.
Hey, let me know what kind of car you buy from Devin Brown next year.
This is what I'm saying. Devin Brown's about to be the quarterback coach at Ohio State in 10 years. Then you're going to be.
I'm on the side after that.
I'm saying here, hold up, dude. Just real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Devin Brown the only hated Ohio State backup quarterback?
No.
Yeah, who else was hated as a backup? He's the only one.
Wait, no, did Justin Zwick start? No.
I mean, Zwick started at some point, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
But I'm saying, like, do you walk around Buckeye?
He is.
No, I'm saying, do you walk around Buckeye Nation? It's like, damn, I hated Kenny Guyton. No,
Kenny Guyton saved the season.
All right, so look, if Lincoln Keenholz goes elsewhere, they're going to be like, man, I hate Lincoln Keenholz. Is anyone going to hate him?
No, I don't.
Does anybody hate?
I don't hate Devin Brown. I don't hate Devin Brown.
Bro, does Devin Brown take more shots than any backup quarterback in the history of Ohio State football?
I blame you.
No, me?
I blame you. I blame Ron. I blame Mike. Everyone that basically has got me to awesomely gotten me here at the Voice of College Football, because I love giving you guys credit for that and what you guys have done for me. You guys used to kill me for saying Kyle McCord was better than Devin Brown.
Because Kyle McCord wasn't. But here we go. Let's do it. Do you blame Brian Hartline? I'm asking. You want to blame Chris Drew? Do you blame Brian Hartline?
No.
Do you blame Corey Dennis? Do you blame Kevin Wilson?
I blame Devin Brown.
I'm saying, Garrison, you have to use your noggin for this one. Do you think I sat in my room and made up the reports about Devin Brown?
No.
Do you think that?
I don't think you lie, Chris. What I personally think is that.
Do you remember all the reports of Carnell Tate going crazy as a true freshman?
I actually don't. But I'm not saying I haven't or did it. No, I'm saying
you don't remember when Marv said he's better than where I was as a freshman, and he's
he did say that.
Did anybody on the so do you think I'm the only person in the Ohio State media realm that went and asked, hey, I'm hearing that Carnell Tate's going crazy against the ones.
I believe
throwing him the ball?
You kicked me out of Spaces for saying Kyle's better.
No. I kicked you out of Spaces for being in an abusive relationship with Ryan Day. No, I didn't kick you out. That wasn't even my space.
It wasn't, but it was so worth it. I like Juck. He told me I held his hand through the fire. Yes, I did. No, it wasn't you. It's your space.
It wasn't my space. I don't know what. I don't know. I don't even know how you got kicked out of that space.
Do you have to go soon?
No. I just no. I was looking at my camera and then I was looking at you.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, because there's a few other things I want to ask you, but talk to you about.
Yeah, dude. Bro, I'm here for the long haul. I said you want to run down maybe live at like 8:15. So other than that, like I'm just chilling.
Okay, cool. That Gus Johnson call.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you listen to of course I live in the state of Michigan, so I listen to Mike Valenti a lot. It was hilarious to hear him talk about that. You should definitely go listen to it. I'll send it to you actually. But that call at the end of the game. Now, don't get me wrong. Awesome drive. And if you want to be a team that eventually, you want to see your team sometimes go through things like that, especially if you're Indiana, because you want to see like when the going gets tough, like what are you going to do? Especially against a team that has more. Technically, Penn State has they have more talent than Indiana does. Talent doesn't make you a good team.
Okay.
So I thought that was a good win, but then it was that call at the end of the game when he said, "Give him the Heisman." And I thought what you said yesterday, it embodied everything that I thought. I like it's the fact, dude, that it's essentially what he's doing, what a lot of the national media is doing when it comes to this Heisman race with Mendoza, is that you are punishing Julian. Let's just use Julian in this instance, right?
Yeah.
You are punishing Julian Sand for not putting his team, like you said, also for not putting his team in harm's way, playing average to bad for 3.5, basically for 95% of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, man, like what else do you want the kid to do?
Look, like I've never heard like an esteemed, well credited, really well respected, individual in their field, in the broadcasting field. And obviously, I listen to a lot of broadcasters, but doing tricks on it for beating a team that has 0 Power 5 wins was the craziest thing I've seen from Gus Johnson. Like, cool,
he was shaking booty for Mendoza.
Yeah, he did the double helicopter spin on it. I was blown away, and he didn't have to do that because if he could have made a great call without saying give him the Heisman right now. Like he could have made a great call without saying give him the Heisman because here we go, like people like
argue. But then you talked about Hayes too. I quoted Hayes' tweet. Simple 3 words: gawky gawk.
Yeah, dude. Like I'm talking Mia, I'm talking Annabelle, I'm talking the other Mia, and then I'm talking Hayes Fox. Like it was absurd to watch them do it. And then I was like, okay, like maybe they also glazed Julian Sand for having long handoffs for an entire game against Penn State. So I scrolled down. I was like, I want to see it. Like you ice in his veins, give him the Heisman right now, double trick on it. Like I feel like I just, I can't watch that during Lent because I can't, I'm trying to keep it correct. Keep it correct. But like, I'm looking to see, like, did you talk about Julian Sand this same way? And it's like, no. And it's like, okay, like then all this is, if Mendoza wins the Heisman, it's a Make-A-Wish Heisman. And I'm not okay with that. I want my trophy to mean something. And I like Mendoza. I was the first one in the national media to even talk about Mendoza a single time. So
I've been on a love train with them for 2 years, and honestly, even before these last years, I used to like tell people about when I would talk about Indiana to people outside of Big Ten country. I would tell them, I said, "Look, man, there's some years in there where Indiana, they ain't gonna beat you, but they can put some points up on you." Like I actually love that Indiana. I mean, I love Bloomington. Like when I used to live in Fort Wayne, man, in college, I used to go down there a lot. But then, man, it was just something about like when I tweeted about it, like I was catching hell like Ron did, man. I'm sitting here talking to these Indiana fans, and they're like, "Oh, why are you being so insecure?" I'm like, first off, do you know the definition of insecure? Secondly, no, it's just, bro, like it's not wrong for Ohio State fans to feel the way they do. And again, this is where I thought you embodied this whole conversation perfectly in your video. The amount of times Ohio State has had elite quarterbacks and not get talked about the same way that other players do has always been like I point out to people, I tell them, I say, yeah, man, the 3 best, like technically the 3 best offenses in college football history. It goes 2019 Alabama, 2020 Alabama, and a lot of people don't know this, 2019 Ohio State.
Yep, super efficient.
He in 12 games, Fields threw 40 touchdowns and 1 interception.
Yeah. Now,
granted, Burrow went crazy that year, but then you think about that, then the argument about who Julian's throwing to, like it's like everybody.
Yeah,
CJ had a better wide receiver unit.
And my thing is like also like, okay, like cool, like Julian Sand's throwing to the best player in the country. Cool, give him the Heisman then. Right?
And what did that guy say on that thread? He said first started off with Jeremiah was the best wide receiver or the best player, and then ended it with he wasn't. I was like, I read that. I'm like, what are we talking about here?
Bro, this was the craziest tweet ever, bro. I'm about to read this real quick.
Please do.
This actually was hilarious, bro. He said, I said basically like if give it to Jeremiah because he's the best player in the country. This was the reply. Yep, he's the wait. Yeah. I said, give Jeremiah best player in the country. He said, I agree with the argument that he's throwing it to the best player in college football. So there's an asterisk next to it. But just because he's the most well put together athlete we've probably ever seen doesn't mean he's the best player in the country right now.
Holy shit. Like that's just
Bro, someone said the work sided with the pipe, bro. That stuff is so funny, dude.
No, it was crazy, man. And again, like I don't know if one of those two guys, whether it be Jeremiah Smith or Julian, going to win the Heisman. It could be a situation like 2019. Not saying that either Justin or Chase would have won it, but they're going to pull votes from each other, and that's just the truth of the matter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. And I love the way those two guys are going about it.
Wait, can you pull up Daniel Henry's comment again?
Right here?
Yeah. You want to know something crazy? Do you know who the leading rusher in the Big Ten was that year?
If I'm correct, was he not tied with Jonathan Taylor?
They had the exact same money.
Yeah.
And one got talked about like they had an all-time great season. The other one was just like an afterthought.
And again, like the whole fatigue conversation, man, I think it comes from like most people say we're complaining, but I think it comes from an honest place, man, because we if you look at it, like you said, from an Ohio State fan standpoint, bro, like we've seen, like, I mean, Jeff Okudah in 2019 didn't get the Thorpe. Yeah. Didn't have a single penalty called to him for a year.
Yeah, and I believe what was it? Not Grant Delpit,
Stingley.
Who won the Thorpe that year?
Was it Derek?
Yeah.
So I just and you know what? Maybe we should be used to it, but I think that at some point, I have no problem with Ohio State fans.
The Indiana thing is also Ohio State fans' fault, which is why I will not be with Indiana fans, because I realized that, like, over the last year, I've been gassing Indiana up because I want you to go fight SEC fans, and like
me too.
They missed the memo. It's like no, I'm building you to go fight SEC fans. It's like Alien, right? Like we're trying to put together the perfect species, but we don't want the alien to kill the humans. We want to go kill the other people.
No, bro, I literally had an argument in a space with some SEC guys, and I told them Indiana would be a top 3 team in your conference right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they would also, no, they'd probably be like 5th or 7th. I'm like,
in the SEC, they'd be the number 1 team in the SEC right now. Indiana.
Say again?
Indiana would be the number 1 team in the SEC.
Oh, I agree. Like listen, man, I have been I'm on a campaign right now to talk crap about Texas A&M and that 24 points a game they give up every week. Mm-hmm. I'm on a campaign for that. But before I get you out of here, man, this is the last thing I want to ask you about. What are the few things over the next few weeks that you want to see from Ohio State going into the game? How do you feel about the game right now? And when Ohio State wins that game, will you bail me out when I rush the field?
No, because I'll probably be rushing the field also. Wait, are you going to the game?
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, I definitely won't bail you out because I believe that crime needs punished. But I'm just messing with you. Yeah, I bail you out. I'd probably fly out there. I think that this is going to be one of the. I'm going to play classical music that whole day because this is going to be like a beautiful symphony. Because I feel like Ryan Day's not going to get in the way this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think last year was like a really big moment for him to kind of like have to face the music. And now that he knows that we know that he was just trying to be tough and Michigan was in his head, I think that now he can go back to being Ryan Day, the dangerous version. There's been a clear shift to 11 personnel. I think they know that's the best version of themselves. And also, I think Julian Sayin is going to be just too good for Michigan right now. And I don't think Michigan can score. So, no, like I'm excited, man. The only thing I want to see is I just want to see Isaiah West more. I think the 2 best backs on the team are Bo Jackson and Isaiah West.
Easily.
Yeah, like easily. I think it's pretty easily. Like honestly, like they're to me when they run the ball, I think they're the Spider-Man meme. The only difference is in pass pro. Obviously, Isaiah West almost got Julian Sayin killed, but they need to get a bulk of the carries, and this needs to be like I need you to be. I believe Ryan Day. I think Ryan Day isn't always honest, but when Ryan Day said when it's time to press the gas, we will, and I think he needs to press the gas from the start of the Michigan game to the end of it. And I think that he can do a lot for Ohio State fans if he pays homage to some of the previous coaches and goes for 2. Like that's the kind of like Picasso I would like to see from Ryan Day, because I think he owes us for that. I have not been on Menace to Sports for a single year covering an Ohio State win over Michigan. It needs to be this year. It needs to be.
Well, Chris, man, you want to tell everybody what you got coming down the pipeline, any content, where they can find you? By the way, YouTube, fix yourselves.
Yeah, no, chill. Don't get yourself in trouble. Catch me on Dead Air Sports.
What did I say?
No. I'm helping you out. Catch me on Dead Air Sports. This whole week I'll be dropping between 2 and 3 videos a day. I'm about to go record with Tyler right now, actually, and then next week will be the same deal. Obviously Ron and Q do Buckeye roast. I'm gonna get Garrison on, hopefully either for the end of this week or next week, depending on kind of what is on my content schedule. I cover the Yankees for Empire Sports Media. Free agency starts over there baseball wise. And yeah, dude, just like I'm around. Like honestly, like if you want to find me, I'm easy to find. I'm really easy to find. And wherever you find me, you'll see Don B in the chat. Shout out to real one, Don.
Yeah, shout out Don B, man.
Yeah.
All
and
right,
also
man.
Penn State still has not won a game until I wore a hat on the show. Just so you guys know. So stop messing with me, man. These other opposing fan bases want to mess with me. I put your hat on during the show. You'll never win again. You guys notice? What do I never wear, Garrison?
Ohio State.
Never. You think that was an accident?
Oh no, I don't. Like on Saturdays, bro, I wear nothing Ohio State.
No, ever. Just so you know. But I'll holler at you.
Oh, you don't actually? Wow, what the heck?
Isn't that crazy?
I got you. I'll send you some stuff.
No, don't send me anything. My mom went to Michigan. Peace.
That's crazy. Oh man, of course, man. That's my man's right there, Chris. Everybody, appreciate my boy for coming on today. It was last minute, but I'm glad he could do it. Well, everybody, before we continue, of course, this has to get. We don't ask for much here, but if you are watching and you would like to have your business here, this is for you. Get your business, product, service, or personal brand to the next level by partnering with the Voice of College Football, and let's discuss how you also can reach your target market. The Voice of College Football is a growing network with a large following, so let's find out how we can help you grow with us. Check out the experience of one of our current partners, the Admin Win Agency, posted here on the screen, and just like them, we are here to deliver for you. Contact us at sponsorships@vocfb.com. Again, that is sponsorships at vocfb.com today. Well, everybody, we all know Ohio State does still have a game this week, 7 p.m., 7:30, yeah, 7:30 p.m. kickoff, 7 p.m. kickoff, I believe. For some odd reason, I saw 7 and 7:30. It really made no sense, but of course, Ohio State plays the Bruins of UCLA this week. The game will be at 7:30 on NBC if you need to catch it, everybody. Eastern time, of course. A few things I want to talk about here. We'll start with the UCLA's offense. Nico, I am not a believer. 1,659 yards, 12 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Right now, when he plays ranked teams, it's throwing 58.8 completion percentage, so not good at all when he has to play basically teams with a pulse. Also has 4 rushing touchdowns, 474 rushing yards. Which leads his team right now is very impressive. They're currently coming off of a 28-21 loss to Nebraska. That was actually a pretty fun game. I won't say pretty fun. That was a good game to watch. Right now, this offense is not good. Let's just call it what it is. They give up 22 sacks a game. I'm sorry, 22 sacks. They give up 22 sacks this season. You can easily get pressure on them. I think we're going to see a lot of spying on Nico. At least I would prefer to do it that way. Send forward, spy him with either Arvell, Sonny, or Caleb Downs. I maybe Matt Patricia takes a little bit of the Jim Knowles approach and blitzes him a lot, but this season that's not what Ohio State has done. And Ohio State, no matter who they have gone against when they had to play a mobile quarterback, whether it be Damon Williams, whether it be Arch Manning, whether it be I'm blanking on his name, but the kid from Ohio playing for the Bobcats, who's actually having a good season too, a second good season, 2 in a row actually. We have dominated dual threat quarterbacks. We've done a great job against them. On the other side of the field, the defense only has 6 sacks on the season. Jones, the defensive lineman, has the most at 1.5. The defense sucks. The whole team sucks. They're not good. 124th in rush defense. So coming off of the last 2 weeks where Ohio State has progressed, You don't. This is one of those games where you want to have 100 rushing yards, 105 rush yards, even 120. In this game, I expect 170 or higher. That's my expectation for this game. You're playing one of the worst rush defenses in the country. You got to go put it on the forehead. 27th in pass defense. The only reason they're that low is because they give it up on the ground. That's a sole reason why. I think Ohio State does the same thing they did this week against Purdue. I think it's a ball control game. I think you want to make UCLA get desperate, take away the run from them, make Nico go out there and beat you with his pitiful arm. That's what you want to do. And he can't do it. The team not – listen, and I like what Josh Pate said on his show yesterday, or I think it was yesterday. Yeah, last night. He said when teams show up on the field that day, they are not their rank. I agree. I actually like that line of thinking. With that being said, this team sucks. Don't play with your food. Get your plate. Grab your fork and your knife. Eat what's right in front of you. Call it a day. That's all I expect from these Ohio State Buckeyes. My final score prediction, 34-6. Let me know in the chat what you think yours is. Let me know in the comments what you think this score will be. I think we could easily get to 40. I just don't think that's what Ohio State's trying to do right now. I really don't. I think they want to work on that run game some more because it's in November, which is when you got to play your best football. That's when you got to do it. I mean, of course, the playoffs are there, but right now, leading up to November 29, you are taking steps to beating the team up north. You're taking steps to beating the team up north. That's what it's about. And so, go out there, take care of business. Don't play with them. Crack some more of Nico's helmets and call it a day. But yeah, 34-6 is what I have. Go ahead and let me know what you guys think in the comments. Gonna run through this real quick. My best bets for the week went 1-2 last week after going, I think, 2-1 the previous week. So I'm not happy about it, but whatever. This week, this is what I have. I think Bama's going to cover that 6.5 against Oklahoma. I actually think this is going to be a blowout. I think probably 14 plus. I think as we're getting later into the season, the Oklahoma offense just isn't good enough. They can't run the ball. Your quarterback is still kind of as good as he is. That being John Mateer, I think he's still kind of ailing right now. So I think Alabama's going to take care of business there. Penn State at Michigan State. I would hit that under 50.5, me personally. And by the way, these are all these lines right here, everybody, from our friends over at FanDuel. Again, if you do want to participate in gambling or wagering, make sure you are 21. And if you have a problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Again, that's 1-800-GAMBLER. But yeah, that's going to be an ugly game, I think, between those two teams. And then Louisville versus Clemson. I'm taking Louisville with the 3.5. They're coming off of a loss, of course, this past week. I think they're going to want to rebound. You're playing a Clemson team that's down and out. That just is what it is. They have no fight in them. And when you got them down, you beat them down some more. I think Louisville's going to do that against them. I think they're definitely going to cover that 3.5. But listen, then last thing here, everybody. Actually, you know what? I'll save that for later in the week. I'll save this for later in the week. We're going to call that a show today, everybody. Again, appreciate you all, Buckeye Nation, for showing up here at Ohio State The Voice College on a Monday for Ohio State Primetime. Again, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, share this, Facebook, Instagram, or wherever you X, with your family and friends so we can continue to grow the community that we have growing here at Ohio State Voice College Football. And so we can have everybody talking with you. Hey, what's up, Ben Vargo? I didn't even see you in there, man. Glad to have you in here. But yeah, I really think that hold on. Let me read these real quick. Say, Aaron, you got 41-0? Very likely. Very likely. See, Don B, 46-3. It's likely. Andre Pierce, Prince, 45-0. What the hell, Daniel? What are we doing here? What are we doing here, Daniel? I'm messing with you, but 45-13. Honestly, to be honest with you, Daniel, originally I had the score being somewhere around 40 to 13, 40 to 10. Because Nico is an explosive football player, he can make plays with his legs. The kid really can. But I think the surrounding talent around him just not good enough against Ohio State. He's playing with lesser talent than he had at Tennessee. See, Don, he said, I think OU will surprise Bama. It's possible. It's possible. I just can't see it right now. It's hard for me to see it. Aaron, he's with you, though, Don. He says, I got Oklahoma 27-24. Hey, man, I don't know. I don't know. But everybody, thank you again for showing up. Mike will be here tomorrow, so make sure to catch him there. Then, of course, you have early at 11 a.m. You can find Mark Rogers. Then later in the evening, Mike will be there again for you. Actually, I'll be here tomorrow too, everybody. So yeah, Michael and I will be here tomorrow. Then on Wednesday night, around at 10:30, Mike and I will do the late night show, and then Thursday come in for the call-in show. Leave your comments in there, ask the questions, whatever you gotta do. If you don't already, go ahead and follow me on X. DM me questions there, and I'll happily come over here and give you guys content here or answer it on Thursday for you. But again, and as always, everybody, OH, IO.